Okay, let's make another greenhouse video. So, more information I've learned. When it comes to greenhouses, plants will grow faster, just as a result of their conditions. They'll grow faster, but you can't treat them like indoor plants. You have to treat them like a completely different thing. I just got done watering everything. So it's going to get humid and awful in here pretty quick, so I gotta make this kind of fast, because I want to turn my fan back on. So what I've learned, it's a disaster in here, because I'm growing plants to sell. So what I've learned is that by treating plants like a different animal entirely, or plant, you need to fertilize them often. Something a lot of people don't realize. They're like, oh, my little house plant, it's time to up pot. It's just not looking right. Rarely ever is the issue water retention, or they're drying out too fast, which is why they're looking sad. That's rarely ever the case. That's what I've learned. What usually it is them running out of nutrients. Because that's one thing I see very often. Plants will run out of nutrients. These monsteras, for example, I saw no new growth from them for 3 months, and I was pretty sad. And I was like, oh, well, no, I've visited my local greenhouse to ask them some questions, because I'm here to learn. And what I learned is that they fertilize their plants every other day. I noticed because I bought this Callista repens, and they've had theirs in a greenhouse too, but theirs was doubled. Theirs had doubled in size since they had gotten them in, or since I had last seen them. And it had only been a few months. It's simply because they fertilize more often. Now, my greenhouse is in a suboptimal location in terms of light, because it's got the garage blocking off the west-facing sun. So, as badly as I want to move it, I mean, right here I got Wi-Fi, so I can just chill in here and watch stuff. Now, that's one thing I've learned. Rarely do you need to repot your plants. If you like watering your plants, everyone loves watering their fucking plants. What am I saying? If you enjoy taking care of your plants, don't repot them. As fun as it can be to do, relish in watering them more often, and remember to give them fertilizer. Because it's really hot in here, had some absolutely ginormous plants in really small pots. This one that I have growing in a wicker basket that I ripped the plastic lining out of so I can get more air to the roots. It was in a 5-inch pot. A leaf as big as my head in a 5-inch pot. They watered it and fertilized it all the time. That's all you need to do. It really is that simple. Water and fertilizer. That's what plants thrive on. Now, do I still repot my plants? Yes, because I don't water everything every day, because, as much as I wish it wasn't, this is just a hobby. I can't be in here all the time monitoring everything. Especially plants in these 2-inch pots. This one's dead. I tried my best, but the client killed it. So, if you can water them every day, you can grow anything out of any pot. Look at this. I just have it in this bigger pot to keep it stable, because, usually they're in like those egg crate holders. I haven't even put it in this bigger pot yet. Look at how big it is in a little 2-inch pot. It's because they watered it and fertilized it appropriately. Root boundness rarely means anything. This guy's a non-example. He was ultra root bound. I had him being drip fed water all the time. And he still looked dry. Same with this one. Spider plants can fill up their pots with so much roots to the point where they're never happy. So you just gotta do what you gotta do. Ripped them out of the pot, chopped a huge chunk of the roots off, and then threw them back in. Because even then, even when I say, oh, you should probably repot it, I didn't even have to repot it. You should have seen this thing before. Sure, it's got those fucking whatevers, but look at how nice and green and thick the leaves are growing now that I've got it taken care of correctly. This guy, you can see what size pot he was in just not that long ago. So yeah, so the key is fertilizing when needed. But by when needed, I mean more often than you think you even need to. That's how you get plants to grow huge. I mean, look at this. This thing's in a fucking... Look at the white wires that hold it on. This thing's not even in a pot this big. This thing's in a very small pot, and it is ginormous. Because I water it and fertilize it every few days. And that's the key to good plants. In greenhouses, everything moves faster. Plants absorb water faster, plants absorb nitrogen faster, and it's your job to keep up, not to make sure they're happy. Because they will be happy in a greenhouse, because they've got all the light they could want. And that concludes this video. Toodaloo. I'm fucking boiling.